Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down big ideas. Today, we're tackling something huge, the art of getting what you want. We're going to dive deep into the core principles from Tim Castle's The Art of Negotiation and show you how to win, not by being the loudest person in the room, but by being the smartest. All right, let's kick things off with a question for you. And really, take a second to think about it. When was your last negotiation? Now, if your mind jumped to something big, like buying a car or asking for a raise, that's totally normal. But you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. The reality? You probably negotiated about 5 minutes ago. Seriously, from figuring out a multi-million-dollar deal to just deciding who's picking up dinner, our lives are just one constant series of negotiations. So if we're always playing this game, why do so many of us feel like we're just bad at it? Well, it usually boils down to a huge misunderstanding of what negotiation actually is. And this, right here, gets to the absolute core of the problem. We have this mental block. We're often taught to think that asking for what you want is, well, it's pushy, it's greedy, it's stressful. We associate it with conflict. But Tim Castle's whole argument is that we need to flip that script. Negotiation isn't about being greedy. It's about communication, strategy, empathy, and being bold. And this quote from Castle is a total game changer. If you don't ask, the answer is already no. Let that sink in. Every single time you decide not to ask for something, you are literally giving yourself a no by default. And that is costing you. It's costing you opportunities, it's costing you money, and it's chipping away at your confidence. So how do we get better? Well, the secret isn't some kind of natural talent you're born with. Castle argues that great negotiators aren't born, they're made. And you know where they're made? Not at the negotiating table, but long before they even sit down. It all comes down to preparation. And that preparation is like building your armor. It starts with the inner game, your mindset. This is your foundation. First, you've got to truly believe you deserve to be in that room and to make the ask. Second, you have to know, without a doubt, the value you bring to the table. And third, you have to treat courage like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And that inner confidence, it's fueled by the outer work. Because as Castle points out, a staggering 90% of your success is locked in before you even open your mouth. It's simple. The most prepared person in the room almost always wins. Okay, so what does that outer work, that real homework, actually look like? It's about getting total clarity on 4 key things before the conversation even begins. You need to know your goal, understand their position, anticipate their objections, and you have to know your BATNA. And that last one, BATNA, that is your secret weapon. It stands for Best Alternative to a Negotiated Agreement. Think of it as your ultimate safety net, your plan B. When you know exactly what you'll do if the deal falls through, you gain this incredible power. It's the power to walk away. And that means you're negotiating from a position of strength, not fear. All right, so you've built your armor. You've done the prep. Your mindset is solid. Now, it's showtime. Let's talk about mastering the conversation itself. And here's another tough but essential truth from Castle that you just have to accept. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you ask for. So how exactly do you ask in a way that makes it really, really hard for them to say no? Well, luckily, Castle gives us a super clear 4-step playbook. Step 1, be crystal clear. No vague wishes. Ask for a specific number or outcome. Step 2, speak with authority. Frame it confidently, not like you're apologizing for even asking. Step 3, anchor high. Start with an ask that's a bit higher than your ideal outcome to set the playing field. And step 4, probably the hardest one of all, after you ask, be silent. Just stop talking. Let that silence do the heavy lifting for you. But here's the twist. While making the ask is crucial, your biggest advantage often comes from what you don't say. The best negotiators, they talk way less and listen way more. They're on a mission to uncover what the other side really values, what their pressures are. That's where the real gold is hidden. Of course, even with the most perfect preparation and the most masterful ask, you are eventually going to hear this one little word. And for most people, that's it. Wall hits, conversation over. They just give up. But a skilled negotiator, they don't hear a wall. They hear something completely different. They hear an invitation to ask why. See, a no isn't a dead end. It's actually the beginning of the real conversation. It's your opportunity to dig deeper, to understand the underlying reasons, and to start creatively finding a new path forward. Because this is the final crucial shift in thinking. Amateur negotiation is about crushing your opponent. It's about winning at all costs. But that's a short-term game that burns bridges. The ultimate goal, the mark of a true pro, is to aim for the win-win. It's about avoiding that zero-sum thinking. You have to stop seeing it as a fixed pie where if I get a bigger slice, you have to get a smaller one. Instead, the focus becomes collaborative. How can we work together to expand the whole pie so we can both walk away with more? And this is what that looks like. A true win-win isn't some mushy compromise where everybody leaves a little unhappy. No way. It's a creative solution where both parties get their core needs met. And often, you've created some new shared value in the process. This is how you build lasting relationships. This is how you build trust that carries over to the next deal and the one after that. So when you put it all together, the mindset, the prep, the strategy, it all comes down to this one final question. Your next big opportunity is out there, just waiting. Are you ready to ask for it?